The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Forum, assemble. You watch a Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books, and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, we have... Jay took himself out?
I did. Yeah. I apologize.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem.
I was jealous of that sexiness.
Aren't we all? Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
I wasn't that late, was I?
How late were you? No, not that late, but you said you were going to be late, and then Oz was running a little bit behind too. He let us know. Yeah. Jay and I just figured, hey, we can do this. We can rock. So we rock it.
Oh. I just got a jury summons.
Dude, I love jury duty.
Jury duty now is tight because you got lounge chairs and Wi-Fi and shit, and it's like, and they only let you do. Oh, I don't know what your experience last was, Jay, but mine was like, hey, if they don't pick anybody by 10, it's just a 1-day thing. You're out. See you next year.
Yeah, unfortunately, the last time I didn't get to go in. I called the number, and they said they didn't need me. So I was like, "Fuck."
They did that to me
once.
I like
going in for I enjoy it.
Well, they did that to me once, and then I still had a warrant for not showing up. So, I don't trust that number. I always show up, whether they tell me not. Last time I had to do it here in Compton, and it was like the dudes just say, thank you for coming. It's a 1-day thing. Like, it's gonna be one of these weird little trials. And if they don't need you by 11, they ain't gonna need you at all. See you next year. And then sure enough, like see you next year, bro. Thanks. Yeah. And that was 2019, and then because of COVID and shit, they didn't call me back till like 2022, and I totally fucked that up and missed it. So now I gotta make sure I gotta do this one. Yeah,
indeed.
But they got like lazy boys and shit. And
my name's Lawrence Young. They call me very young. Welcome
to
Fantastic Forum.
He doesn't do jury duty because he's above all that.
Oh, absolutely not, man. Look, trust me, I would actually be very interested to be on a jury for like an interesting kind of case. However, the last few times, all I did was call, just like how Jay was talking about. I would call or check in. Actually, I don't even think I called. I think I checked in on a website. They're like, go to this site, let them know you're available or whatever. I feel like half, they were like, you got to do it 6 days in a row or 7 days in a row. And I feel like, I think 3 of those days I was in Las Vegas. Just like, I guess if they call me, I'll go back. But anyway,
I'm gonna show up. But yeah.
We got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about a one-shot from Patrick Horvath, the creator behind Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, called Free for All, which is a grim take of a dystopian future. Or
present,
an idealized vision of the future, depending on your perspective,
or the near present.
Hey, there it is. So we'll be talking about it, and of course, we'll be talking about whatever else is going on in the greater geekosphere. I hate the term geekosphere. I should not say that again. Sorry. But yeah, in geek culture. So, with that said, before we get all to that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. And with that said, if you want to get down Fantastic Forum, we're going to have our intern tell you how it is you can do that.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Indeed. Join the party. You know you want to. So, yeah. What were you going to say, Mo?
Now, you know what I love about this potential economic collapse is that, we don't have the premium StreamYard. So we have these little dots in the background. But am I high as fuck or are they moving?
No, they move.
They move.
Okay,
It's an animated
I think they're probably both.
Yeah, well, the reason I say that is because, when there's four of us, like right now, we can't see like them moving. But, when we do other things, and I always wanted like an animated background, and when we were paying an astronomical amount for the paid service, we couldn't have animated backgrounds. Yeah. It was something that just started like right before they couldn't renew our card. So, like the cheap version actually gives me an animated back. Now, if I could choose it, it'd be different. But so you gotta look at the silver linings, Larry. I know you're a pessimistic, cynical person, but I always try to remind you, to just look at the bright things in life. Yeah.
I hear they call me the curmudgeon behind my back.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare they? The curmudgeon?
Yeah.
Such old-timey language.
I've said it for years. Lawrence is really dark.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Ozcore, our intrepid senior reporter. Welcome, Oz. So call in. You'll be the fifth member of Fantastic Forum. You can go ahead and chat with us. We'll tell you what, we'll let you chime in on whatever conversation we're having, and even listen to hear what you might have to say as well.
I love how Jay's like, it could be both, but they are moving.
It was good. I agree. So, gents, it is good to be with you all once again. I've been looking forward to today's show. Not, and don't get me wrong, we got, of course, a great topic.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me, man.
No. I'm saying it because not only because we have a great topic, but more so because I get to hang out with you three. It's like I'm ready, and like I need this. I need this hang. This will be good for me, I feel. So it's good to be among you, gents. What's on everybody's minds? Anything interesting? Anything top of mind for any of you gentlemen? Look, Jay, you look like you got something that's weighing on you, friend.
No, just learn what a cephalophore is.
I'm sorry, what now?
A cephalophore?
A cephalophore.
Isn't that my nasal spray for my sinuses?
No.
It sounds like it would actually work. I'm having a hard time right now.
Cephalophore sounds definitely like a mythical creature.
Cephalophore. It means it's got to be something. It has a big nose or something, right? Is that like some anti-Semitic thing?
It's a statue where the figure is holding its own head.
Any statue that's a figure holding its own head is a cephalophore.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
Cephalophore.
So that means that
they're normally built. They normally represent people that were martyred.
That's wild that we have a name for that.
What's weird is because that's how I can sleep right now. The way the barometric pressure has been working right now, and my sinus is acting up. The only way I can sleep is actually holding my face like this with pressure on my temples and sinus cavity. So it's like, and even fucking like I do a cephalophore style because I'm like, yeah, because that way, like if I don't have pressure here, I can get all the pressure down there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Normally, it's with the hands in like a lowered position, so the
I
head
can get
isn't
low, Joe.
connected.
Yeah.
Well,
But
hey,
I do
don't
believe
threaten
you.
Joe with a good time, goddamn.
It's funny because most cephalophores are Christian.
Right.
Well, that's why they had their head in their hands because it's like, fuck, I gotta believe in this shit.
And that's why Lawrence didn't know what it was.
Oh, whoa.
Heathen.
What are you trying to say? How dare you? Listen, how dare you?
Trying. I thought I was very explicit
15 minutes ago.
That's insane. Wow.
So like the thinking man, is that a cephalophore or no?
No,
they said it's still attached.
Okay, but like
Yeah.
the Lucifer with the hand like this, that's a cephalophore.
Is the head attached?
That the head has to be off the shoulders and the hand.
Yeah.
Oh, like
right. Let me.
Like
okay,
decapitated.
Okay, yeah. No, definitely. I don't fuck that way.
Like homeboy, there's like, to be or not to be. He's a cephalophore.
Okay. So
And just
that's
so.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave that alone.
hey, this is Jay's time to shine, man. We all derail it one weird way. Let Joe do it. Okay, like that. Okay. Yeah. No, that's not how I sleep or fuck.
It's 100% how he does both. I've seen the videos.
hey, we can't let Patreon know that that's how we do it on our
Exactly.
Patreon.
There it is.
You know, the whole Gaga for Goggins thing is a thing now too. Like every local news outlet has taken that from us after this last season of White Lotus. Like we've all been Gaga for Goggins for we've all been fans for years and shit. Like and it's like, and they use terms like Gaga for Goggins or shit like that. And I'm like, man, you cocksuckers, man, you took my shit. But all you faithful Patreons know, like at that $5,000 tier, we've been doing that for years.
$5,000 tier, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like just Rook.
It's a small tier, but it's a faithful one.
You only need one. Yeah.
Right, only need one. That's it. So if you want to get in the conversation, fantasticforum.live, hit the call-in button. You'll be the 5th member of Fantastic Forum, or you can jump into chat. We'll take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the show, such as insert witty chat comment here, please, Shay.
Hey, Zilla says, "Oh shit, jury money."
Yeah.
There it is.
I feel just like Pauly Shore, man. Yeah, jury duty.
Get those $12.
$12. Hey, taxpayer money, man. I'm like the president now.
Was that the name of that reality show? It's not a reality show, but
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
No, it's not actually a reality show, kinda. Yeah. It's kind of or like a hybrid. But I thought it was maybe jury duty, but it was basically a show where it was like almost like imagine the Truman Show, but taking place as jury duty, and like where you have like a sequestered like jury and a trial and all that, but all of it is fake except for one guy.
Much like cephalophores, I didn't know about that till about like 15 minutes ago. I had no idea what you're talking about.
I think the show is called Jury Duty. I might be wrong about that, but it was very funny.
It's not a real jury, right? Because I'm pretty
sure.
No,
it's like I said, it's literally like the Truman Show. So this guy gets called in and gets sequestered to be on this jury, but the trial is fake. The judge is everything about it is fake. The only thing that's real is him. And it's actually very funny because it's like, that's why I said it's not really a reality show, but kind of, only because he doesn't know it's all fake.
Sitcom.
Sounds like that dude's going to get fired from work when he tries to say he was out for jury duty.
Yeah.
Like, I need some paperwork when I do jury duty.
That
Yeah.
fool lost his job. No,
The
he didn't
IRS
lose
is
his
gonna
job.
get on his case.
I'm sure that the people somehow let it be known. But is it called jury duty, Jay?
Yes.
Okay, that joint is actually pretty funny because because he's the only one that's real. They make everybody's an actor that's on the jury, and they make all these like weird, like they make these people very strange.
Yeah,
but
I hate that. Like, I don't like. This is giving me anxiety just hearing about it. Like,
why?
Because what if that's what my jury's gonna be? Like, like that's like my nightmare. Like, I'm already a weird one, like, and
Moses, listen, this guy on this show, like the people that watched it were so endeared to this guy.
Yeah, fuck that. Look, that's the only thing that's my hope, that I am not an endearing person. So, they wouldn't pick me to do that shit. But it like, I'm gonna be weirded out now too. Like, where's the camera? Like, because like I suck at escape rooms too. Because like,
what does that have to do with anything?
No, because they're like, you're in a room and there's clues to get out. Well, there's 2 hinges right there. I kick those motherfuckers out. I'm out. Like, I don't need to find no clues.
There's 2 hinges.
Yeah,
it feels like I'm gonna break the door down.
Hell yeah, like
it's like I brought a screwdriver to escape.
You give me a pocket knife and I could get out at any room. Like, because I know at the corner the seams is the weakest points. All I need is to just cut them open. Yeah.
Hey, most rooms are drywall. You can just punch through that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And then you're liable. Like, I didn't realize the shit you signed, you're liable for that. And it's like, dude, like, that shit look like stone and steel. You think, like, I just kicked it, And it's like, and I'm out. And it's like, you didn't, but they're like, no, there's rules to it. I'm like, the fuck, you put me in a box, I'm gonna get out. And tell me to get out, I'm gonna get out.
To escape rooms, there's one out here.
I'm banned from them because like it's too much damage.
I have been to an escape room, and yeah, I like them a lot. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I get if you wanted to go to one, and he said never.
Who did?
Wait, I'm sorry. What now?
I asked you, Lawrence.
Yeah.
If you wanted to try an escape room with me.
No.
And I would never.
Not the salty.
No. Tell the whole story, Joe. What kind of escape room were we trying to do?
Just a normal escape room. Like, I just wanted to do a normal escape room, and he was like, "No."
Jay comes up to Lauren's like, "You want to play a game?"
Listen. I can't.
Like, I saw it on Conan, and I was like, "Oh, that seems interesting."
How long ago are we talking about?
I don't remember when. Like, whenever Conan was on the air.
Yeah, but wait. So, I mean, are we talking about like when we were like children?
No, Conan wasn't on when we were children.
Jay goes up to Larry. Is like, "You have devalued your life."
You have failed this show.
Jay, as long as you want to do a regular escape room, we can do a regular escape room show. As long as, look, if there's not like any kind of weird, scary stuff in it, like no zombies or no
scary stuff.
Joe, you do scary stuff.
No, he likes watching it, but he doesn't like.
I do movies. I don't do mazes. I don't do like I'm barely willing to do a hayride.
Oh, dude,
because they don't touch you.
You shouldn't do those either. They're terrible.
See, I do all that, but the escape room is the thing, like the feeling of being alive. But if you guys do it, I'll do it with you because
at the very least, do it. Come do an escape room.
You guys will do the clues and be smart, and then when you don't fix it, I'll just kick everything down.
We'll do our best. Let's put it like that.
I'll be like that kid in the news like 2 weeks ago that he burned down his own house to be like set free because they kept him locked up in a room.
Listen, what I will say is I feel like the 4 of us would probably kick ass in an escape room because we all think differently. And I definitely feel like that's how escape rooms, like when you have people that all think the same way, that's the worst kind of escape room experience because like you never get through it because like there's always like the one clue that nobody understands because everybody's like on one page, and it's like, but the four of us, we all think real different.
I think what's gonna slow us down is two of us are gonna have to keep Mo from breaking through the wall.
Like, Mo, please stop kicking that.
Yeah.
No, look, there's a battle axe that you got.
Yeah. It's like it's like there's a clue about some medieval knight and how he found the chalice. But I'm like, he has a big old battle axe. Like I could get through the wall with that.
You seen The Shining? Just
Yeah,
like that.
Hilarious.
Here's Johnny.
Okay, so there it is. Like maybe we could do that pre or post Comic-Con. That'd be fun.
I don't know. I regret saying that I do it with you guys.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
But, I am flying solo this Comic-Con, so if we choose to do that, there's nothing I could
do.
That's
already been decided?
Yeah. Because we're going to Vegas like the week after, and,
Oh,
then Long Beach Comic-Con's the week after that, so.
Wait, Long Beach Comic-Con is 2 weeks after San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah, like August, like mid-August. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. But you're right. Like, because Comic-Con's like
the last week of July. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Dang. Did they do that on purpose, or must not have been?
I mean,
right?
I don't see. Well, they got to compete with LA, and LA is like, and then there's all these monster cons too, like now that take place around the fall. So they're got to be at the tail end of the summer, like Labor Day weekend, if that,
Damn.
If they want to get people. But they got Mr. Feeney from whatchamacallit to be on it there. He's a special guest. Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World.
Oh, Mr. Feeney. I think you said Mr. Fiend. I'm like, I don't know who Mr. Fiend is.
I don't know who that is either, but I don't know why you bring him up. Like, we specifically said we're not talking about him ever again, but I don't know why you keep bringing him up.
Mr. Fiend.
Yeah.
Let me ask one more question that's completely off the topic. Jay, are you watching the Wheel of Time TV show at all?
Not yet, no.
Did you do the Mo deal with the with Humble Bundle with Wheel of Time?
No.
Okay. Me neither.
Joe, fake ass Wheel of Time fan.
I've read all the books. Like what was in the Humble Bundle.
Nah,
it's all the books. Yeah, just digitally.
Yeah, I read all those. I used to own them papery.
Paperly.
Why are you acting like you don't know how to say books? Like, when you say a book, it's a book.
But nowadays, a book's not a book. It could identify as something else.
No. A book is a book.
That's not true.
And that's 100% true. That's never been false.
Not true. Yeah.
A book's a book. And then if you have an ebook, then you have an ebook, and that's okay.
There's no such thing as an ebook anymore.
What do you mean there's no such thing as an ebook?
That's a hate term now. Like, you can't say ebook.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. There's EPUB, but that's a specific type of file in which you can read an electronic book.
Listen. I'm beyond the conversation where cats are like, oh yeah, I read that, but they like did the audiobook. I'm not even giving people flack for that anymore. Yeah. It's like, okay, you did the audiobook. There was a point in time where I'm like, that's not reading. I've even gone past that. But a book is just a book still. Like if you say I have the book, I have those books, I'm assuming you mean a physical copy. If you're saying I have the book, but you have it on your friggin' Kindle, it's like, well, no, you got an ebook. That's different.
Yeah. Well, I was reading just yesterday. I was reading Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche, and it was they didn't call it an ebook, they called it a book, and it was on my iPad.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they call it, it's still an ebook.
No, well, tell that. Look, for a bunch of nihilists that compiled all his works into an electronic file, they're really uptight about what you call the shit they put together.
Well, listen, I don't want to offend the nihilists, but
I do.
It turns out.
I mean, I'm one of them.
They made an ebook,
yeah,
and that's okay.
I'm okay without you calling it an ebook. Thank you.
Bunch of savages, man. But yeah, man,
well,
you should watch
the show.
You should just watch it. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. It's not like it's like just as good as reading the book. I'm not gonna tell that to you because that would be a lie.
Is that one whole like book where all the females are like bitter bickering at each other? Like they did do that on the show?
Whoa, wait a minute now. See, like I don't feel like that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some scenes that are that.
Yeah,
but that's not what the book is. Like,
no, there's a whole book that was that. Like, it wasn't like the 14th book just that.
I mean, I think
not the 14th. No,
11. Is it 11?
You tell me. You're the one that told me. I don't read. I barely started reading Nietzsche yesterday. Yeah,
it's like book 11 has some pacing issues. I think I think it's 11, but I might be wrong.
But then it's all like, I mean, unless you explained it wrong, you told me like it was all women bickering the whole thing.
I know. I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was great.
I know, but Larry doesn't like women.
What? What do you mean? I love women.
You didn't let me finish. Larry hates women.
Oh. Oh, jeez, man.
I sent you for that. I was gonna say something else. I'm like, no, I should just say that.
the show is actually really cool, and I do feel like if you gave it a chance, Joe, you would really enjoy it. Like, don't go into it looking like, okay, like I need to see exactly what I read, but go into it. But go into it like I enjoy Wheel of Time, and it'd be cool to see Wheel of Time in motion.
Okay, I mean, I already like I watched the first season when it came out.
Oh, you watched the whole first season?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you did that. I thought you only watched like the first few episodes.
That's because you hate women.
No, it stopped when Matt, like for the finale, Matt left the group and everyone else went through the portal, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm pretty sure season 2's done. You should watch it.
Okay,
good.
Let me double check my schedule.
Joe, if you don't stop it with this,
Joe,
checking your schedule.
How was the They Might Be Giants concert?
Oh my god, so fucking amazing!
I made a note to talk to you about that, and I forgot all about it. And then my phone reminded me. Siri saying she's good for something.
Yeah, both nights were amazing. Like
2 different sets or same set?
Different sets.
Nice.
Not completely different.
Yeah.
But different enough. Like, and each show they did like 2 sets.
Okay. Man. So it was like
a 4-hour 2 sets?
It was a 4-hour show each night. Yeah. No opening act, anything?
No.
Man,
no opening act.
I love those shows.
They went in,
did their
thing. Did the first set was themed after one of their albums.
Yeah.
Like the first night was themed after Mink Car.
Yeah.
And the second was themed after John Henry.
Nice.
So I was like, man. Or I should say the first night, yeah. And the second night was John Henry. And their second sets were just like fan favorites and like, you know how the Johns do, just like random assortment of songs.
Yeah.
It was so good. I was missing both of you guys there while I was there.
I was thinking about you because like there's like a news story broke like Friday night too. So I was curious if they played the theme song from Malcolm in the Middle because they like the reboot is like done shooting and they announced it already, the Malcolm in the Middle like reshoot.
Okay.
So and they were like the ones that did the theme for that too.
Right.
So it's like
no, they didn't do that one.
All right. So I was like, man, I wonder if they like it was in conjunction with their show too. Like, that would have been tight. But I mean, the fans are the fans, period. Like they've always like I used to always see them like on late night shows like in the 90s and like Mad TV and stuff. They'd always play like they were the musical act at that time and they were always really good live on TV. So I always I couldn't afford CDs, so I couldn't buy their CDs, but definitely like like, yeah, it's and then thinking about you in the show, I'm like, man, it's like I know there's a bunch of songs I don't even know that I'll probably love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like They Might Be Giants for whatever reason. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something about their particular brand of music where I feel like you don't have to be a fan to enjoy it. Like you just hear it and you're like, that's like, it's not even about like catchiness. It's just something about like, it's almost like infectious music where it's like, like the wild part is, sometimes people make music that they're trying to appeal to like the most people that they can.
Like, they're trying to either fit in a genre or appeal to a specific trend.
Yeah, right, like literally mass appeal, you know? But the thing is, like, They Might Be Giants, like, they don't do that. They just make music that does it.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of crazy because it's like, and the wild part is it's like, you never hear one of their joints and you're like, who's that? Like, you know who it is. Like, or you don't know who it is and you're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That song sounds amazing. But when you hear the next song you don't recognize, you'd be like, if you remember the other song, you'd be like, that's the same people that made the song that I liked before. Like, it's interesting because like some groups aren't like that. Like a group that that wasn't like that for me, that I didn't even realize, which, and this is like some friggin' old head type stuff here, is Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how many Hall & Oates songs I knew and enjoyed until somebody pointed out to me all these songs are by the same group. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, that's all one people? Like one group of people make all those songs? Yeah. Well, one group, right? Exactly. Well, I didn't look, and I'm just saying, like, those are all like Hall & Oates songs don't sound like they're all made by the same people necessarily. Some of them do, but some of them don't.
Let alone white people.
Hey, listen, I was gonna say it, but you're not wrong.
I was gonna do the hot take. It's like, they're just pretending to be black. They're doing blackface without the blackface.
Listen, you're not wrong.
I know they get mad about it, and I got to meet like Daryl Hall once. And
what?
Yeah. And he was like, and one of the things is I was just working how I used to work in the restaurant and stuff, and he's like, and
that's
the
very
music's
cool.
really good. Like, it always let me know what to tell a girl, And he's just laughing. He's like, yeah. He goes, but he said something like, yeah. He's like, I hated that because we try to do soul music, but they always called it blue-eyed soul because
right.
And then that's what he's like that. Always sticks in my craw in the sense because it's like they didn't have that. Like they weren't trying to copy. They just like what they like and their influences.
Right.
They're using their influence.
Right.
But yeah, he's a good dude. He's
yeah.
They're
good.
They're
good.
Yeah. Another band too, like the 90s had a lot of good bands like that too. Like Bare Naked Ladies is another one,
Oh, yeah.
And it's like their music is catchy, marketable, but it's still like intricate and well thought out. And
I agree.
And
I agree.
That should be a festival right there, like them and maybe like Lit or something opening up.
I would attend.
Yeah,
I would attend. All right. You all ready to talk about some comics?
No.
He's like, no, I have no more comics.
I didn't get to go to the shop today.
Oh, no. Me neither. But,
but, we all know you, Larry.
I don't know what that means. we all know you don't like comics.
Yeah.
That's why I've been doing this show so long, because I hate comics. Yeah. I'm infiltrating. I'm trying to tear it down from the inside.
Right.
Everyone knows that about me. Let's do some comic
always
reviews.
Explaining shit wrong.
Comic book review.
Comic book
like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
All right. Let's talk about Free for All #1. One shot from Patrick Horvath. Like I mentioned before, the creator behind Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is a book from Oni Press, where Horvath is doing the writing and the art once again, and he is telling us a story about a future where there is a system in place where wealth is distributed, and millionaires and billionaires have to give up half of their money to go to a group fund that just basically takes care of people in general. Which actually I don't. We'll talk more about where the cap is for that, but they either have to decide to give up half of their wealth, or they can go fight in a gladiatorial arena to keep their money. so whoever wins gets to keep their money, and whoever loses, that wealth goes into the pool. So you have a choice whether you want to give up half of your wealth, or you can go fight in the pit. And that is where we're at with Free for All. So
did he write that because of Musk and Zuckerberg were going to fight or something? Was it Musk? Zuckerberg was going to fight
Elon Musk and Mark's. Wait. Yeah, I think it was Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg.
I know it was Zuckerberg. I don't remember who the other one was. But I feel like
we all watch robot fights on sci-fi. Like, it's the same shit.
you are wrong for that. Those men are not robots.
Well, they ain't martial artists. I'll tell you that. I beat the fuck out of both of them. Like,
supposedly, Mark Zuckerberg
man versus gorilla type shit. Yeah, I'll fuck them both up. Especially for wealth. If wealth is on the line,
I'm so proud of Fantastic Forum for not dipping into that at all until just now. The first mention of it, I love it.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of anybody fucking with a gorilla. Like, Harambe died, and now look at the world we live in. You know, so yeah, I leave gorillas alone. You know, and sharks.
Amen.
Leave sharks alone too.
Yeah. So, Free for All number 1. Let's start with you, Jay. What did you feel about this book? What did you think?
I liked it. Like, I thought it's an interesting concept, and yeah, I like how it played out.
Okay, that's fair. I had mentioned in the little mini intro just now. I don't remember, and maybe you all have a better idea, of this, but it felt like, from my reading, like there was like an amount that somebody had to get to before they were put into this like lottery to give up half of their wealth or fight in the pit. I feel like during the course of the book, somebody said a number, but I don't remember what that number is. Do any of you have any idea if that is the case, or am I just thinking that was the case?
I don't remember. Just thinking.
Yeah, I don't remember a number myself, but it definitely like that, because the way the narrative goes, like you get the pundits or talking about the event, and that's kind of your world building. So they might have thrown out a number, but I didn't care. I just liked the concept,
Right.
I think Jay was gonna go somewhere. I might have cut him off.
You're good.
We could take it out in the pit if you don't like that, Jay. I'll give you half my 0.
I know that they said that the dude, like, the book starts off with a guy like on trial, basically, because it seemed like he was like trying to like maybe dodge the system somehow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that he had assets that they estimated were over like 200 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that was like the base number there, or if that was like just, they just mentioning that. And so maybe that's what I was thinking of. So maybe it's like, I don't know how, but it would be interesting. Like, I would be interested to find out, like, how much money do you have to make for you to be put into this lottery? Like, how much money is too much money? Or it's not too much money. It's how much money is more money.
Put you in that bracket.
One person needs. And so, like, obviously that's a arbitrary question, but it is interesting, the idea. Like I would, and maybe they didn't say how much the cap was, because like that's a open question, right? Like like I'm sure everybody has a different answer on that, but but how much money is more money than one person should be able to spend in a lifetime? You know what I mean? So, but Oz, how did you feel about this book?
Yeah, didn't really get into it. The Coliseum stuff I thought was cool. Like I like those, and especially like the relationship in between the contestants in the last battle. Like that I found interesting. The way they knew each other and how they reacted to each other in the fight.
Now, I will say before, just so there are going to be some spoilers here, but
I'm trying not to. I mean, well, this is
some
like
light
a bunch of
spoilers.
rich people. Like most rich people know each other.
but the book came out like a few months ago, so it's like if you haven't read it at this point, it's like we're not gonna spoil the whole thing for you, because we want to encourage you all to read it potentially. So, but feel free to like talk about it pretty freely, Oz.
That's just it. I like the Coliseum stuff, and again, like the relationship amongst the people there, and even that first fight. Like, I would have assumed that somebody with that kind of money that knew that this was a possibility would take the time to know how to use his weapon of choice, because they choose their weapons.
Right.
Like you should know, you should have some knowledge. Like he should be able to know how to use it. So yeah, that was all interesting. All the societal stuff, like to me, I saw it like the book that we just did on the trains.
Kind of like the lot, like
it's a
going
means
back to the lottery.
Means to get these characters in the position that I found interesting. So all that was like it's kind of background washed over for me. But like I said, the relationship and Coliseum battle stuff was all that was interesting.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting take. I hear you. What about you, Moses? What did you think of Free For All #1?
One thing I am going to tell you is I didn't get to finish it. My niece, it was my niece's graduation today.
Oh man, listen, man, that chick. What she's not gonna do nothing with that degree. I'm just joking.
Like we're not supposed to tell these kids that. Like that's the whole point of that. That's the whole point of this arena. Like we just got to get them rich, right?
Hilarious.
But
I get it. I understand. I hope your niece had a good graduation.
Yeah, I didn't get to go because she didn't have enough tickets. So I was trying to go and have lunch with her and dinner with her, but then that took longer. So that's why I was late, because they're taking longer. They're partying or whatever. So either way, but what I did read was about half of it, and the concept is good, and it feels like it is one of these quirky, like sardonic, ironic concepts. Yeah, and I think like if anybody like whatever Oz didn't like, he would have liked it if it was part of an anthology. Yeah, that was kind of like almost like a Tales from the Crypt or something like that, or something similar, like how we did was it like Kingdoms of the other ones are more like fantasy ones that are
Cruel Kingdom.
Yeah, Cruel Kingdom, yeah, like something like that. He probably would have enjoyed it a little more, but I do like the concept. I find it weird seeing Patrick Horvath draw humans. Like,
dude, I felt the exact same way.
Did Horvath draw the Beneath the Trees also?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because the art felt totally different.
Yeah.
Well, but this goes to the point Moses is making, which is I felt the exact same way. Continue, please, Moses.
Like it would have been a lot easier, and maybe a lot of a more faster read if it was animals, because I'm like when you see these expressions like in violence, you're like, and then the art style too isn't hyper realistic. It's cartoonist style, and they're getting their brains bashed in, and you're like just the cover alone, I'm like,
It looks like Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, but imagine that
It
with
looks
them
like
like
Bob's Burgers.
slicing their fucking brains out.
And I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you, Mo, because I thought those images were interesting, but I know
Yeah.
you really love that style where like the head is like split. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a gory scene. We're just
Totally.
seeing
Yeah,
like what his thoughts are in different sections.
yeah.
So it's not like his head
exactly.
actually got split like that. That's just how they show it when he's
The
thinking.
reality, that's 4 different people right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reality of it. And it's beautiful. Like
I didn't
I would
realize there
love
was
that
money.
3D printed and have it on my desk, but yeah, it's beautiful. I love that part of his art style. But seeing it with people over animals, it's a little weird.
Listen,
And,
I'd have to 100% agree with you, and I know that I was a little worried about coming in here today and like saying
that.
exactly what you just said, but just because it's like, dude, I'm like I'm a fan of Patrick
Yeah.
Horvath,
yeah.
and
No, you're not.
and why am I not?
Did you watch the movie Southbound?
No, I'm talking about his comics.
All right.
I do know that he's a film producer. I know he's made like
He's a
3 or
director.
4
Yeah.
different.
He made
Yeah,
2
so
films,
I know that. I haven't watched any of his stuff, but I know him through comics, and so that's where I mess with him. Like, don't get me wrong, I would mess with the movies too, but
No, you wouldn't.
nobody. Oh, are they like horror movies?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then, yeah, you're probably right. I probably wouldn't. Right, but it's interesting because it's
You
like
did watch Southbound once, but you didn't know you were watching it because I was playing it at the shop, like back in the day when I first started cutting hair.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Southbound. Oh, I see Hexzilla's in chat says Southbound starring Dwayne the Dwayne Wayne.
No.
Is that
I
what
mean,
it is?
not that I know of, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was an anthology film too, but
Oh, got you.
yeah.
But I messed around and I was like reading this book and I was definitely like the story had me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But I'm like Patrick Horvath should not draw people. and that made me feel weird. It made me feel sad. I was like, oh, I didn't know that because I understand that Beneath the Trees is all like anthropomorphic, like it's animal folks.
Yeah.
And his style, which I didn't realize, really lends itself to that.
Yeah.
Like in a way that I was not prepared for, because when I was looking at this, I was just like, you know what? I'm just not like look, I'm gonna show you all the first page, and like this is like where this is like what we opened with, and this is like the trial thing here, and I was just like, okay, like and don't get me wrong, like this isn't bad. Like I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that it like what like his art style, if you had like asked me about his art before seeing him draw people, I would have felt a different way about his art.
Yeah.
Like the way I would have described his artistic ability would have been different just based on like say something like Beneath the Trees versus seeing him do this and just being like, oh, because I've seen him do other comics with other publishers,
Like
but that
Creepshow,
was right.
Yeah.
But he was working with an artist.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing the art himself. He just did the story.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, like I didn't know that. Like, but going back and looking at his work in like Beneath the Trees, I'm just like, I love that. This, I'm like, I'll take. and I was just like, I didn't know that about Patrick Horvath's art ability. Like I didn't know Like it would be interesting to see him do like some traditional like superhero stuff just to see what
Yeah.
it would look like.
I don't want him writing any of my superheroes, but I do want him. Like,
Why not?
I mean, look, Larry, you and I got to hang out. Well, you don't remember, but we
I
got to hang
remember.
out with Horvath's wife, Mrs. Patrick Horvath.
I
you know?
remember.
And we're like, he's married? Like, because, when you read.
I didn't say
like,
that.
No, well, I said that. But the thing is, when you read something like Beneath the Trees, like, like I'm scared. Like, if I was gonna do an interview with him for a journalistic thing, I'd be scared. I feel like I'm in Silence of the Lambs. Like,
right.
And part of that is my own dark things where it's like, man, him hiding shit. Sam hiding shit in the paint cans. That's brilliant. Like, I didn't think of that. But I've been thinking about different ways to hide pieces of the body, But the fact that he got to that point, it's like, Mr. Horvath, can we look at your garage, please? Like, have a warrant.
Most like you're even more demented than me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm scared, But that's the creative mind. Like, you have to do everything, every possible, and especially when you're creating art, you have to do everything possible to create something different and new that's gonna, like, when it hits, it's gonna hit, And
right.
When he told us there with Mrs. Horvath, it's like, oh, we might have a sequel coming,
right?
And I'm like, well, what's that gonna be like? And then, we're gonna talk about that a little later. Surprise!
Yeah.
And that when I read that, I'm like, and it's this dude. Like, I really want to sit down and I didn't even realize he directed that segment in Southbound till today, and I'm like, I love that movie. Like,
oh, do you really?
Yeah. Like, I watched that movie like 3 times at the barbershop, like a year. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like I'm in. Like, it's a good movie. Like, it's just beautifully shot and everything. His part in his segment is a direct co-director part, so I don't know how much. And again, that's what makes me want to, like, okay, now we really do need to sit down and talk to him, because I want to see the difference in creating something like when he's alone, he does Beneath the Trees, and then when he's not, he does something like what we saw in Southbound. And that's so it's like, dude, like, what kind of like, did we watch the same porn at one point?
I don't know what that means, but
you don't know what because you're not a creative mind like we are. That's
what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's this. Sorry, yeah, just capping it up. Like, it is this. Patrick Horvath is one of the definitely, like, rising stars in comics. Like I said, I don't want him to write my superheroes, but I want to see him draw. But, like, if he does, I want him to do, like, his own, like, his take, like his deconstructionism on a super being that decides to, like, it's not worth saving these fucks. But,
I feel like
that might be too easy for him, and that's where it wouldn't work.
Well, I know he did, like, which I don't remember. Like, I feel like there's something that you all might have reviewed, and maybe I don't know. But I feel like he did like a DC horror thing, didn't he? Like, I thought he did, but
yeah,
I feel like that kind of thing, whether it be at DC or Marvel, like, whether you have, like, sometimes you have those milestone issues, and you have, like, one of those, like, the milestone issue will have, like, the main story and then, like, 3 backups or 2 backups. Like, one of those backup stories being a Patrick Horvath story with whatever hero you want, or whatever hero he wants to have a take on. I would love just to see what that is like, just because, the dude is a interesting creative. So, Jay, what are your thoughts on the actual, like, premise of this story in regards to, like, or maybe I should say, how do you feel about this premise in relation to real life? Like, is this something that you feel has any, like, practical applications in the real world?
Sure. Like, I do believe that the wealth inequality is a big deal. And, you know, billionaires and millionaires should pay their part. But like Patrick Horvath said, it's like once you bring more like Mortal Kombat into things, then it starts to get a bit dicey.
Amen. Amen. And I was happy to have read that myself when, you know, because they do an interview in the back of this book and just asking about, you know, asking him about his process and about the idea. And you're right, he does say like, hey, like, I mean, you don't really want like Mortal Kombat to be a centerpiece of any like decent society. And I agree. I agree. What do you think, Oz? How do you feel about the concept and what it says about today's society?
Not into the concept at all. You know, I mean, look, I hear, oh, the rich have to pay their fair share. I mean, is it fair that the more you make, the higher percentage you have to pay? I mean, I assume fair would mean everybody pays the same percentage.
Oh no, that's the opposite of fair. Yeah. Don't you think?
That everybody should pay the same percentage?
Yeah.
Not amount, percentage.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like 25% of, like, say if you're like a low income family, 25% of whatever you take in means a lot different to you than say if you're a millionaire, don't you think?
Right.
But I understand having a poverty line where you get some back.
I don't even want that. Like, I want the homeless guy to pay. If he's got $2, I want 50 cents of that. You know?
Wait, what? Why?
Like, because like I don't want potholes in Compton. Yeah.
So you're agreeing with Oz then?
More than Oz, because I want 25 from everybody. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Oh no, that's what Oz just said.
Yeah. No, but he's not. He doesn't have the conviction to do it. Like,
no. Well,
I don't trust the government taking the money to fix the potholes either. So.
Well, okay.
No, well, you can't
but that's a different issue. That's
like if you should have handled that on January 6th, you know.
But it's like 25% of your income doesn't mean the same thing to every person. So that's why I feel like it's unfair, because I mean, just think about it. Like, if I have $100 and you take 25 of it, that's not the same thing as if I have 100 million.
Right, but knowing that
whatever work it took you to get the 100 million, that, you know, it's still like, that's why it hurts when you're rich, because it took you work to get to that level, you know.
Also, I mean, listen, knowing that the more I make, the more I'm gonna get penalized, invites people to figure out ways to hide shit.
No, but it's not.
That's the world we live in now.
It's not penalized.
What happens?
But it's not penalized.
It is penalized. If I'm paying 20% at what I make now, and let's say I come up with something that makes me $100,000 extra dollars next year, now I'm paying 30% or 25%. I'm paying more than I did before.
But if because I was in a society where you didn't know the difference, you just automatically paid 25%. You wouldn't know the difference. So the idea is to kill you off and then just charge everybody in the future.
Right. And if it was 25%, no matter how much I made, then okay, that's just what I have to pay.
Yeah. That's how it is in like Guatemala and shit, you know. Like, and their street, they got better speed bumps than the ones we do here. Like, these motherfuckers be speeding and doing wheelies and shit over here, you know. They got
but this is the point I'm making, right? Where it's like, if you look at it as a penalty, then okay, I understand why you feel the way you feel. But if you look at it as your contribution to making sure that society is functioning properly, then it's a whole different thing.
Beautiful, naive Larry. Beautiful.
But here's the thing: it's not naivety because.
How about this, Lawrence?
Larry.
What is Japan doing? Because their roads are beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Whatever I may be wrong.
Themselves.
Whatever they're doing,
like they don't have street cleaning. The people clean them themselves. They don't throw their trash on the street.
The Japanese society is a whole different thing.
Right.
Like,
so it's not a money problem; it's a people problem.
Yeah.
Well,
no, America.
Sure. If what you want to say, if what you want to say is American society is filled with a certain number of degenerates, then yeah, nobody here is going to disagree with you.
Half of them are in office. Half of them are ruining my streets.
One of them is a president of the United States,
and one of them,
I'm just saying.
This show.
But what I'm saying to you is, it's like what I'm trying to talk about is fairness, right? And it's just like the idea is okay. If what we're talking about is we want society to function in a particular way, and here's the other part of it, where it's like people complain about things like homelessness, right? And it's like we have enough money in America to make sure that nobody is homeless. Now, do we want to give the money? Like, do we want to give the money away necessary to ensure that there's no homeless people? No, we don't want to do that because some people feel like those people that don't have homes don't deserve any money to make sure they're housed. And it's just like, well, you can't have it both ways, right? Like, well, I guess you can, but here's the thing. I don't feel that way just because it's like, if the problem is, let's make sure there are no people that are on the streets homeless, then let's fix it. And it's not like they're going to live in luxury. They're just going to live. But there are some people that are like, well, they can't have my money to live. And it's just like, well, it's like, okay, but you have more money than you're ever going to spend in your entire lifetime. Why do you care?
Larry, beautiful, what? Larry, beautiful.
But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that thought process?
I just want to hold you, grab you by your cheeks like a bulldog and kiss you on your forehead. Beautiful, Larry. The problem is there's America. The homeless problem with America isn't a homelessness issue. There's a mental health issue, and they don't want to deal with that.
No. It's not a mental health.
Look, I'm watching it. 2 blocks from my barbershop, they opened up a beautiful condo building. And nobody wants to. None of the homeless people want to live in it because they're like, oh, we can't do drugs in there. But they're doing drugs because of mental health problems, and there's no enough facilities to help mental health issues.
It's a very myopic view of the homeless situation. It's that's what people tell themselves to make them feel better about not trying to address the issue. It's I'm not saying they're not homeless people that don't want to be housed. I'm not saying that. But here's the other thing I will say is we should treat adults like adults, and children like children. We should treat adults like adults, whether they're housed or not. And so it's like
no, I want to treat them like cats.
but they're not animals; they're people.
Yeah, no, we're all animals. That's why we can't come together and we can't talk about it on a comic book show because we're here to talk about comics. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because we're all animals and we all just want to eat shit and fuck and get gratified. And sometimes we want the government to do it for us, but the reality is we got to do it for ourselves.
Nobody wants the government to do. Look, the only thing the government is here to do is to help people.
What I wish the government here was to do was talk about comics. Yeah.
Oh, aren't we talking about comics?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to move along.
Okay. Well, what would you like to talk about, Mo? Go ahead.
I mean, we got the what's the other one? Red shirts.
Red shirts is that too.
Yeah. So should we just do you all want to just rate
Oh yeah. Finish the
You just want to
segment.
rate
Sure, yeah.
free for all and then move along?
Yeah, do that. Do that, Larry. Yeah.
Okay.
That's your job as the host. Yeah, do that.
Okay, let's do that. Jay, what would you rate free for all number 1?
I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
There it is. Okay, Oscor, what would you rate free for all number 1?
I'm also gonna go 4 because it is a one shot, and I think Mo is right. An anthology of this type of stuff, I could go for because they're short. You get to the point. I can the stuff that I don't like, I can kind of gloss over because I don't have to remember it for a future issue.
There it is. Okay, there it is. Moses Magnum, free for all number 1. What would you rate it?
Yeah, fuck the homeless. But yeah. No, sorry.
Oh
that was last segment. Sorry. Oh, no, I give it a 4, and that was part of my thing. Like in a busy day like today, like if this was part of an anthology, like I could have gotten the same story done in, or I would have gotten the same thing if he would have done it in 15 pages than 32. You know what I mean, or whatever. It was.
Dude, this joint's like 50 pages.
Yeah, so it's like the
Something
concept
crazy
itself,
like
now if he wants to do a short film on like Hulu or something, I'll help fund it. Like I want to see this, I want other people to see it, and these motherfuckers aren't gonna read comics, so I'm down to put that. But definitely for a comic format, this is definitely like an anthology, like backup story thing, and yeah, I was weirded out with him not drawing animals. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. It's like it's a good book. I love the concept. I would love to see other stories based in this world. The only thing that keeps it, I think, from being like a 4.5 or a 5 is just the art for me, where I'm like, dude, I didn't know that I don't like Patrick Horvath drawing people. And here's the thing, he's good. I believe he can draw people better. And I don't know if it's
too
a thing.
Creepy.
I don't know if it was just a thing where he got used to drawing animal people.
That little Japanese girl with the bangs. Like I thought I was gonna see her throughout the whole thing.
Hilarious. So but yeah, it's a good book. I would definitely say check it out. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for us.
I hope he doesn't read this and wants to kill me after.
Listen, if that's the case, man, I hope we find you. It's like I don't know how to even take that. I'm just saying, I can't say he won't get away with it. I just hope we find you. That's it. Done.
No. I'd rather him get away with it. Don't find me.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Damn.
I'll happily be bear paint exterior red that they find it in the recycling bin.
Bear paint. Well, look, in the same way how Oz died at Comic-Con that one year, but then he came back, we'll be like, Mo died at Comic-Con, but he just never came back. Be like,
what's funny is
we won't even realize that Patrick Horvath got him.
I made one of my clients that works in disposal of paint, and it's like, if we just put like people's parts in paint, does anybody ever like really like look in these cans? And then he's like, as far as I can tell, they never look in it, but they do recycle the product. So it's like if the color changes or something, but it's like, but how? Like, what's the product? So I'm trying to like see like if like because in
beneath
the trees, like he just buried, he just has them in stock, but it's like those need to be recycled because retail space is real estate. Like, so
here's the thing, like I feel like if somebody happened to dig up paint cans, I'm not even sure somebody would mess around and like open them up.
I'll tell you one thing.
When I was a kid, I did find paint cans, but sorry, Oz, go ahead.
Since I've moved out to this great state of Illinois, that's how you pronounce it,
Illinois.
That's the indigenous way to say it. Yeah.
I've moved like 3 times, and each new place I've moved to, there's been maybe 10 paint cans in the garage, and I never open them.
Right.
I
That's
just
what I'm saying.
like throw away 2 or 3 at a time a week, so
Yeah.
that I don't fill up the trash can too much, and
Mhm.
just get rid of them. So there could possibly have been little pieces of people.
But you
Dude.
can't throw them in the trash can like that. That's illegal. You have to recycle them.
Listen,
Hence
it's
the
not
2 or
that
3 at a time.
it's not that illegal. It's not so illegal that somebody's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?"
No.
And that's the thing. Like a paint can feels like an innocuous kind of thing where you're like, "Oh, damn, somebody left this paint here," and then you lift it up like, "Oh, it's full." Hey, there's no part of you that's like, "Oh man, I gotta open this."
I was assuming, well, they painted the place to sell it, obviously.
Right, but there's
now I
no part
gotta
of
go
you.
open all of them.
Right, there's no part of you that feels that way.
Yeah.
There's no part of you that feels you have to open them all, especially if they're heavy.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh damn, like you're like, dude, like, and so I'm just saying, if you put a piece of person in a paint can, I feel like every person that finds a paint can that feels heavy is like, oh man, like how am I gonna get rid of this? And they're gonna do just what Oz did and be like, I guess I gotta throw them away like 2 at a time.
Also,
And-
once you get to torso, though, you need a lot of paint cans. Like they aren't that big.
They're cut into quarters.
Yeah, no, but even still, it's like, yeah, Sam worked at a hardware store, like, so she had all the buckets that they needed, you know, like, and here's the thing, here, look at my dumbass right here. While we're doing the show, I have an empty paint can, a random ass paint can where I just put a random ass sticker on it, you know, and it's like you could buy just random ass paint cans and just put a color on top and say it's like, oh, this is it. So you could get these at different sizes. They're like 50 cents a piece. Yeah. Not to give any of you.
I don't like that
most
most stocking up on paint cans.
No, this is just one of them. I just use it.
He's gonna take us all out one day.
No, that's what weirded me out about it. Where I'm like, you know, I always look in paint cans. I play with the paint. You know, I'm an artist. I'm like, oh, this color is gonna work. Like, it's a color I never thought about. Like, how can I make this as a primer for something I'm gonna draw or paint? You know, so it's like I'm the weirdo that opens the paint cans that I find. You know,
There it is.
That's why it creeped me out. And with that, we're gonna give you a review of a book called Rites of Spring. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rites of Spring is a sequel to, and this is a book they're out with, so we're not giving you any art or anything. There's an embargo on what you can say about it. I don't need. They said spoilers, but I don't even know. Like, all I can tell you is the shit is amazing. Like.
The end.
It ain't out
right.
yet. I don't
Review
even know.
over.
Jay, you know when it's out at all? Like, because I like they sent us the copy. The good people at IDW, well, are, you know, underlings for me and Jay at IDW, because we are the the dudes at the board.
I think it's July 9th, right?
I believe so. I think June 9th is the last day to order.
Yeah, that's the final cutoff order. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, July
shops and tell them to pre-order. You got until June 9th.
Yeah. There's a bunch of covers for it. Yeah.
Yeah, which they got one that's like a friggin' Talented Mr. Ripley homage, which is pretty.
Is that what it was? I thought it was American Psycho, but I think.
I'm sorry. No, it is American Psycho. I'm sorry.
Okay,
it's American Psycho.
But if you can show it, because I know in the files they sent me, they're like, you don't show these, you know, because they might not be finished. Like the art that they showed me, they're like, It's not because they don't want spoilers or anything. It might not be the finished work yet. Like editorial still has to go through some of them, you know? So whatever they have that they've sent, like for solicitations, is finished potential of it. But yeah. But the stuff they sent me to share with you guys is not that. Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, this is the sequel.
Yeah.
To Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. And yeah, we did like
8 years after the events of that book.
So yeah, I'm gonna grab a drink, but I want to leave you with this question real quick. Jay, like you're the one that really like brought us onto this book. Like, how did it feel how the way from what you've read, like how this sequel is playing out, like even the way it was when we talk about Patrick Horvath being the weird dude thinking differently, like how does it feel for you this first issue,
Okay.
of the sequel? Like tell the audience that.
This issue, it's enough. I forget what I am and aren't supposed to say, but
no spoilers, but
Yeah, that's all it is.
right. It starts off with one person, and I think they do say this in the description, but they're looking for their brother, which happened to be one of
the victims from the past.
Victims in the past. And so she's in the city trying to find her brother, going through image boards and Reddit and all these places, just trying to look for clues or anyone that can help. Going to the police stations, identifying random bodies. And eventually she ends up in Woodbrook.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it's one thing, it's interesting. Like, it's kind of like this perspective is an interesting way to go. You know, when they said there was a sequel coming, the first thing I thought of was, okay, it's going to be from her viewpoint again. Are we just going to do like, her matching wits with another killer again? Like, what do we get? Where do we go from here? And where we go apparently is to the family of the victims, and we're looking through their eyes, trying to figure, like, basically looking for Sam.
Yeah.
And so
wait, so does this take place like at the same time as the first one, just from different points of view?
8 years.
8 years. Okay.
8 years after the events of the first book. She's been in the city for like years after her brother stopped returning calls and visiting. She just moved to the city, and she's been basically just rotating through different districts and police stations,
doing her own investigation,
yeah, for like 8 years now, trying not to give up hope that she'll get a clue as to what happened to her brother.
Yeah. No, it's a really interesting take, and one that I was not expecting in regards to like a sequel. And for me, I was just like, this is perfect.
So this is why I'm afraid of Patrick Horvath.
Like, just the thought behind, like, okay, well, if I'm gonna tell another story in this world, how do I make it interesting? Like, what do I do to like switch it up? And just for him to come up with this, it's just like, oh man, like such an interesting idea, such a cool concept and story potential.
So
and I'm just like,
if the story is told from the perspective of victim's family, do we get the kind of the first series of books? Like, there is the you turn the page and there's like the shocking gore image, which really technically I wasn't even that gory. Like, it's just creepy. Like, it just weirds you out. Do you still get that from this? Like, is there still murder?
You get a little bit of that with the John Does.
Yeah.
The
people that she has to identify that aren't her brothers.
Okay.
But the reality is not like and we can't say much about spoilering, but
that's
the
what I'm
page,
trying to be careful with.
so yeah. So what I can tell you is you're not gonna get a gory bloody look at the end as a cliffhanger, but what you are gonna get is a nice, clean, beautiful picture that is gonna shock you and terrify you in terms of the way these stories work with Beneath the Trees.
We already said Horvath drawing animals and body
Yeah, no,
horror
but
is
it's not
like,
even
that's
that.
his-
It's the words that are spoken, which I'm not gonna say what they are. I'm not gonna say, but the way that the character is drawn to closer to finding reprieve to her brother, and the moment that she has to like where you see where she really finally gets close is shocking and terrifying, and I would even say like if it wasn't animals being drawn, it'd be like disgusting. Like it's like every true crime podcast's like wet dream. You know, like these people that make money off and capitalize off of true crime, like this is their like they'd be twiddling their fucking dicks and jerking off to this scene right now. Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Even in the first series, like I'm not into body horror. I'm not into true crime. That was some good writing and like the most shocking, or I guess some people would consider disgusting images were still like I could still look at him. Lawrence could look at him. He runs away.
Well, but here's the thing, like even like
he still puts women in a different room when they're ovulating, you know, like he's still
I don't know what
very biblical that way.
Right now. Oh Jesus. Listen. What I can tell you is this, like even in the interview
Leviticus young. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'm
He'll sell your daughter for wearing the wrong type of wool.
Even in the interview that Patrick Horvath did in the end of Free for All, he talks about how he appreciates the comic book medium because there are things that he can show and put on the page that if he had put it in live action, it would hit in a completely different way, and in a way that might be like too over the top. Like he does like recognizing the difference in the mediums and how it's like in comics, I can show this and it goes over. It still has an impact, but it goes over in a completely different way than if it was in live action. And so I feel like he very much like understands that about the things that he does in comics versus what he would do in like television or film. And it's true. I mean, because I go again, like half the stuff I read, 3/4 of the 85% of the stuff I read in comics, if it was live action, I probably couldn't watch. Just because I'm not built for that. I don't like to see people like suffer. And like I don't like to see people like gore, dismemberment, and like that doesn't do anything for me. I understand it is fake. I know it's not real, but I get immersed. I get like I definitely
see, that makes it more okay for me because I know it's fake.
Yeah, but
I could see some crazy stuff in a movie and people getting shot and all that, but like 5 minutes into actually watching Faces of Death and I have to walk out, like I can't because that's real.
Yeah, no, I hear that, but I guess my thing
movie
is like
stuff. It's like I know it's not real.
But I think this is part of the reason why I like video games so much. Like the immersion is a real thing for me. And it's like, you know, I understand, like, you know, there's no part of a video game that I think is actually real, but at the same time,
I don't know, man. You like a lot of video games with like where you paint, you're shooting paint.
Yeah, but I get drawn into the world. Is what I'm saying.
Oh,
it's like, and so it's like
so you can't play Resident Evil 2. Yeah.
No, I cannot. I can't.
Yeah.
No, like not the remake or the original.
We need to get you VR headsets and throw on
No.
some Resident Evil.
No, VR headsets are kind of too much for me. Like I played a VR version of the original Legend of Zelda, and it wasn't like it was like a thing where it was like
original like Nintendo Golden.
Yeah.
NES Legend of Zelda.
But
No
first
kind of like
person.
no kind of first person.
Okay.
In VR.
No kind of graphical updates.
So they're still sprites.
They're all sprites.
It looks like Doom, basically.
Coming at me, and I'm just
less
like,
than Doom. Yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Wow.
Like these friggin' tights coming at me, and I'm like, I'm dying. I'm dying right now. And I'm like, let me get out of here, and I'm done. It's too much. So I don't know. That's just something about me where it's like I'm able to put myself into that zone, and that's why I don't like watching that stuff so much, because it's like it's too much for me, you know. And so comics, I think, is a little bit of a barrier, even though I'm immersed still, because it's like when I read comics, it's like when they talk about the how the imagination fills in from panel to panel, like I'm all about that.
Mhm.
Like when I read from one panel to the next panel, like I see the in-betweens, you know? And so like comics is an amazing medium to me, and I love that. Like, because of my imagination is active. This is why Blair Witch Project was so scary. I'm imagining what's going to happen, and it's worse than anything they could put on the screen.
Well, and it's also by when you like, especially like when you talk about the big two, when they make a comic that isn't working, like it's so disappointing too, because you're having to put your like, you can like it still, but your brain has to do a lot of work for you to like, okay, this is what they're like. These X-Men books, like when the new X-Men after the Krakoa era, like, okay, now I can get into every X-Men book because they're all relaunching, and I tried reading them, and I'm like, these are bad books.
Yeah, 100%. Because you have to do. It's like the thing, like if you have to do too much work, between the panels, then it pulls you out of the story.
Yeah, I might as well be reading, Nietzsche again. Yeah.
So it's like but in a perfect world, it's like like that transition from panel to panel is seamless, and you're just like, oh, it's like it feels like you're watching a movie. But anyway.
So this book, as much as we can't really like talk about our experience, because I would like to review it when fully, but are you guys excited for this? Is IDW doing
100%? I can't wait for issue 2.
Yeah.
This is a wild thing, because I know for me, I'm like I don't usually have an issue waiting for the next issue, just because it's like, okay, well, there's all these other things I'm trying to read in between time or whatever. But this is so good that it's like, okay, I can wait a month. But unfortunately, like I said, like we mentioned, I don't think it comes out until like early July. So I'm like, I'm definitely going to come back to this in my mind. Like, what happens?
So what's going to happen is we're going to get the chance to talk to him at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And we're going to be able to talk about him, because we might not even have issue 2 yet by the time we get to talk.
No, issue 2 won't come out until after Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be an interesting conversation. So you should
even though who knows, we might get an early preview of it.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about it like that. Like,
right.
Either way, the way we could talk to him about it won't be like
the same way, right?
Man, like what you did in issue 2 is like, well, that's not out yet. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. But it's going to be crazy. So
we'll just right around the edge of issue 1.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. Anyway, okay. Anybody
one question I do have about this issue again is, Jay, like, you're the one that brought us. Like, how did you like this issue number 1, man? Like, if you were to rate it, like, how satisfied are you? Like,
it's definitely like a 6 out of 5.
Yeah.
Is Jay the one that introduced us to
Beneath the Tree.
Beneath the Trees, or did you all just kind of find it? At the
No.
same time?
It's definitely Jay.
Jay definitely brought it to us. I had seen it and I like got curious about it from the art, but Jay is definitely like, we need to read this. We need to talk about
Everything about it is Jay. It's murder. It's anthropomorphic.
Yeah, it's also Mo though. So like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I remember like when we reviewed it, I was like, I saw this, I wanted to read it, but I didn't until Jay said this for the show. Yeah,
and that's it.
And even like if you remember my review, like I had to do my review separately because I wasn't on the show that day.
Yeah.
It was the day my nephew like graduated. He got his barber's license from the state. So I was locked up, and
all the look. You need to stop messing with all these kids that are doing this higher education, man.
Hey, you know what? That's the part of being an uncle, man.
No,
hey,
man.
That's the next generation. Look, you met my
send
nephew.
Them a Build-A-Bear.
Look,
with a little knife.
I mean, you see my nephew, like he might take over this show when you guys die.
It might make. Oh, dang! Wait a minute. Now, look. What I heard was when he kills us. That's what I heard. I was like, I don't know if it's the nephew or Mo gonna kill us. I don't know. He's already
getting good footage at Comic Cons.
You gotta find me.
Yeah,
there it is. All right, you guys ready to get out of here? Is it about that time? Or you guys? Or you all want to talk about?
You guys have to leave. Everybody have to leave. Did anybody read Rich? I did want to talk about red shirts, but
I got all night. I'm drinking tonight. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're at your house, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Oz.
Jay,
okay, listen.
Did any of you guys get to read Red Shirts too?
I did.
Okay,
I did. You got a second to talk about it real quick, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk about it real quick.
Real quick, Jay.
Well,
tell us what you thought about Red Shirts.
Yeah. So Red Shirts is about Star Trek. Red Shirts is about the guys that always die in Star Trek security team. So we have I can't remember the main guy's name.
Webb,
and he's kind of been through an issue. He survived. And he's kind of disillusioned, like already.
Heck says I'm in.
There it is.
But there's basically he's stationed at an outpost, and it turns out the outpost is being spied on. So they want to send a bunch of red shirts down to the surface to try and flesh out who's ever spying on them. And, Red Shirt's going to die. So that's basically, you put a bunch of people with no plot armor into a spy scenario.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hexzilla says the real Suicide Squad, and low key, like they didn't want to transport them because they didn't want anything to be seen like on the quantum field or whatever. So they actually put them in empty missile casings while they were bombing an antenna. So like they all had to land on actual projectiles. So at least a few of them died just landing. Yeah.
Yeah. I know for myself, I was just like, it's a cool ass Star Trek story.
Hexzilla says, I'm doubling. Fuck.
Like it definitely, like, I mean, I love spy fiction, which I know I've mentioned on the show before. And I'm a big fan of Star Trek as well. And this definitely feels like, like a great melding of the two. And
like it could be a good Paramount Plus show.
Well, like in some ways it definitely feels like what like Section 31 was like trying to go for, and didn't quite nail, unfortunately, and it's just like, but this is like, it's doing it. What do you think, Oz? Oh, Oz, you didn't get to read this, huh?
No, I didn't get to read it.
Damn it.
Look, Oz, I think you'll love this.
Like, this is good. Like, how enthused he was when he was talking about the first couple seasons of Discovery, and even like the last time I got to talk to him about, he's like, "You've been watching Discovery," and I'm like, "No." It's like, "Oh, you best," So this is one of those where I think he would really enjoy. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. Um,
and I don't know when this is out because this isn't out for another like for the summer either. Like I think it comes out
yeah,
in June
it's
or
the
July,
July 16th.
July 16th. Yeah, so it's just something to look forward to for the summer. So I ain't posting pictures or anything because yeah, we own the company, me and Jay, but we still, want to buy with some, rules and last thing we want is the SEC on our asses. So we ain't posting no pictures. We're just talking about the good things we're bringing to you, and you're welcome. Yeah.
Right,
Right, Jay?
Did we get
Right.
this book in the emails?
Huh?
Did we get a preview copy of this book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get like preview copies each week of different things, like even Ninja Turtle shit.
Yeah, I
and
get
stuff,
the emails. I just
yeah.
don't remember getting.
Yeah, that should have been on it. And I did do a backup copy in the drive. I was trying to pick it up, look it up right now during the show, but yeah, for some reason I don't know. Like maybe they call it back or something. I don't know, but yeah.
But it's definitely the kind of thing where I'm like, dude, if you're a Star Trek fan, you should definitely be going to your local comic shop and making sure that whoever orders the books, like, let them know that you want it, because this is the kind of thing where I kind of feel like a comic shop will order some of these, but if they don't know that people want it, they're only going to order a few.
And they have a couple different covers, and they're all a red shirt, like, and then his head blasted off or something. So I want to do
the skeleton red shirt is the cover they got to go with, because that's the best one.
I think that's the main one. Yeah, but I think they are doing a white cover, so I might have.
So you might want to.
Yeah,
you might want to go to your local comic shop and request a particular cover early. Or try to, because who knows which ones are going to be like incentive covers versus just regular variants. But the fact of the matter is, it's like, I know for myself, I'm like, I read this and I was like, wow, like I didn't realize how much I would be into a book like this, because while the concept sounds interesting, it wasn't necessarily for me a thing where I was like, okay, well, I have to read it. But having read it, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm right there with Hecht.
For me, I was like,
I'm doubling.
The dude is like, when they're like, we need you to not be you, and I'm like, I've heard that my entire life. Like I identify with this guy, and even like there's a beast that he befriended just being stranded there. He's kind of, it's like, oh, he's like you but angrier, and it's like, yeah, but he's the only one that can control it. Like, you'll see him when he get hit, So like I'm excited to see where all that goes, and like. And he's the longest lived red shirt, and he's like 42, which is like my age now. So
right.
I identify with this guy way too much, and I fucking love it. Like I finally identify with somebody, because I'm not gonna be a science officer. Like if I go to Starfleet, like for me, like I see that as a utopia a little bit, and it's like what humanity could accomplish.
There it is.
I'm not gonna be a fucking science officer. Like
ship's counselor, Deanna Magnum.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be fucking like. Yeah, I'm not gonna be.
He's gonna be head of security.
Like exactly. I'm the longest lived red shirt. Like there's finally a Star Trek that's for me, and it's like the longest lived red shirt. Like, yeah. And it's like, because that's really what it would be. I'm gonna be a blue shirt, like science officer, medical officer. I'm not gonna do that. My mom didn't have those hopes.
You could be Riker.
No.
Swinging your leg over the chair, Mo. You could do
no. The thing about Riker, like he did. The thing is, he paid his dues and ate shit to be at that, to get to that rank. And I now don't get me wrong. I'm willing to eat shit to do my thing, but the reality is, like, I have no place being on the bridge like that. Like I could any landing party is like, hey, I got your back, bro. Like
right.
we could walk. This is a weird planet with a weird jungle. Let me go in first. I got you. Like let me clear the path.
Right.
Like I am that dude. Like I'll go into the darkness without coming out, but you're gonna have a path by the time I'm done, even if I don't survive.
Got it.
And it reminds me of one of my favorite episodes of what's the kids cartoon
Prodigy.
Prodigy, yeah, where there's like they leave a red shirt and then he teaches the they're beyond, so he's not breaking the command, like the prime directive. But he teaches them about Starfleet, and then like 300 years later, they land again, and it's like, and this is a full functional society, but they treat Starfleet as a religion now, because they've interpreted among themselves like a game of telephone across generations, and it's like, and it was just a red shirt that like believed in the tenets of Starfleet,
Yeah.
And again, I'd be that dude. Like they look at me as Jesus, like the man from the sky. Yeah. Yeah. So cool. I really loved. I'm excited for this. This is probably one of my favorite like Star Trek comic series, and if they could team up with Legion of Superheroes,
you're hilarious with this. You and always with the Star Trek and Legion.
They go so well together, and they're you didn't read that shit, Larry. Don't shake your head like that. Yeah, like he thinks Trump might be good. We could trust Trump, but he does his head for Legion of Superheroes. Man, get the fuck out of here, Larry.
Who said you might trust Trump?
You like, it's like, he's hopeful. I have hope. I'm rooting for him because I root for my country. But you shake your head like that for a Legion loss. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I knew he was a red shirt.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Larry's always optimistic about everything, but I mentioned Legion lost in Star Trek, and he's like,
yeah,
get the fuck out of here. Yeah, because you haven't read it, you fuck.
No, I tried.
No, you didn't. Did you read Star Trek versus Green Lantern versus Alien?
No.
Me neither.
No. If that's a thing, that it shouldn't be. Star Trek versus Green Lantern versus aliens?
Yeah, there is a Star Trek Green Lantern. There's a caveat. It is J.J. Abrams universe, but yeah. But there is like a Star Trek like Alien versus Predator thing.
It's like even I couldn't read the Star Trek Green Lantern crossover.
No, listen. A Star Trek with aliens or Star Trek with Predator might be good.
Oh, get the fuck!
I'm just saying,
but not
that
Legion,
I can see.
Not Legion of Superheroes. Like,
no,
dude. Like they're literally all living in the same century.
No, Star Trek is like the 2500s. Legion is in the 3000s.
Well, it depends which team they team up.
Now, Legion though, they do like go back in time a lot. So the
Legion lost when what happened was they got lost during the New 52. So remember it turned from Legion to Superheroes.
Yeah, because the future was all blocked off, or there was
right.
a wall.
So they ended up
somebody built a wall.
Right, and it was a Q that built the wall for them because they got lost in the Star Trek universe.
It was a Q with flowing yellow hair.
Is it like a source wall?
No, what happened was they
I know there was a book in the main continuity where somebody couldn't see into the future past a certain point because of there was a blockage. Yeah. And there were Legionnaires that had traveled back in time to current New 52 time that couldn't get back because the future like didn't exist, or they couldn't. There was something blocking them from going to the future.
It was during New 52 where they didn't know what it was the flashpoint, I guess, that created that wall. But they got lost. So Legion Lost was the coming back after the Star Trek thing. So that happened there, and I think it was the same dude writing both. But they landed in the world where they thought it was a mirror universe for Star Trek, but it was not quite that. It was too weird. So it was the original cast, like from the 60s, dealing with the Legion of Superheroes, and then they had to go back in that universe's time to fight. Was it not Ultra? Is it Ultra? The caveman that gets forever life, like not Ultra Humanite, but like the other one.
You talking about Vandal Savage?
Yeah. So Vandal Savage, like found a Q and like enslaved him and built a universe around him. So that's why it was like a weird universe for both universes. And it's so good. It's only 4 issues, so they managed to fix everything in 4 issues.
Freaking Q.
You can't even
Right.
like you can't say that about most Star Trek episodes or DC comics.
That's true.
It's like in 2 hours you can fix the whole universe, a universe that never existed. Yeah, because in the end that universe never existed. So
Look, that's the absolute universe now.
yeah.
Well, there are like
That'd be
5
so
or 6
cool
now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The absolute universe is going to get destroyed like within a year. I guarantee
You
it.
think so?
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
There's going to be a crisis that's going to
Mhm.
merge the absolute with whatever the main universe is.
Really? You think?
I guarantee. This is like I'm not reporting a news story. Like this is all just in my head. This is
but you think they're gonna make like absolute Batman or absolute Superman, like aspects of those characters are gonna become like
a little bit.
aspects
Like I'm not
of the main DC universe?
I mean, they already have a lot of Bat people. Like, what's another one that's like broke?
No, but that's the thing. Like DC doesn't do that. Like DC's not gonna do like Marvel and
Not
have
yet.
like and have like 2 Batmen. Like what
I mean,
Oz is talking about
They've done it
is
before, though.
no, they
Remember,
haven't.
the Earth 2 was a thing for a while, and then those characters
But they
got
won't-
folded into the regular universe.
But that's the whole point I'm making is when they get folded in, it's like they merge basically. Like aspects of the 2 characters kind of become one, right?
Not always.
I mean, I agree, not always, but
the difference is DC is always temporary because there's always another crisis that's gonna do something.
See, yeah, and that's kind of what sucks because it's like with at least like with Spider-Man, like even right now with the Ultimate Universe, and it's like Miles Morales is like, should I even bother going back? Like it's like that makes a more interesting story, and they take a this is like something like what 20 years in the making almost.
Miles Morales can't go back, right? Like the absolute the ultimate universe.
Read
doesn't
fucking
exist anymore.
comics. Like the whole reason.
No, it does.
I don't know if it still exists.
No, that's
in
the thing.
continuity.
The whole reason of the new Ultimate line is literally like it's literally just to get him back in a sense, like to right what was wrong with him not being where he needs to be. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Mo's right in the sense that the Ultimate line.
So they brought it back.
Is a different. It's a new Ultimate Universe. Yes.
Yeah, but it's designed for people like him that were displaced to have a place to go back to. Yeah.
But I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
No, I don't. No. But the idea of it is what makes it interesting. Like, and again, like you said, like with DC, they kind of merge into whatever your Batman is your Batman, where instead of having 2 Batmen,
right.
And here with Spider-Man, but again, the way that Marvel does it is taking about 20 years to get done. Yeah,
DC.
Whereas DC is trying to do it in 6 months, and that's where they kind of fail. Yeah.
I mean, listen, like,
look,
and
if
I
they
think
replace the current Wonder Woman with the Wonder Woman we got in Absolute, I'm down.
Well, and I think that's the whole thing where it's like it's just about a difference in style, and it's like I think like Marvel readers are okay with the idea of like, oh, okay, like we have like 2 Wolverines, and I'm not even talking about like Laura Kinney and Logan. I'm talking about like old man Logan and like young Wolverine, or not young, but not old man Wolverine.
I don't think
Logan.
DC. I don't think DC can do that. Like they didn't even like it.
No,
in the what was it? It was one of the crises where like the old Superman was in it, and that was still like weird. Yeah, like we're glad he died.
And all I'm saying is the absolute universe characters, with the exception of maybe Flash, are so far removed from the like OG, like the
Like status
prime
quo type,
DC
yeah.
characters, that like if you replace as good as Absolute Wonder Woman is, like I love it. If you replace that Wonder Woman with or if you place the OG Wonder Woman with that Wonder Woman, there's going to be a whole group of fans that are going to protest that weren't even reading Wonder Woman just because.
Absolute Flash might make it because he's
Wally. That's what I'm saying.
He's Wally, and
Yeah.
regular continuity they don't know what the fuck to do with Wally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Absolute Flash is the exception, I think.
Like
but everybody else,
the
no
quote
way.
unquote fans might not even know the difference when they get swapped. You know,
that's funny. So, well, we'll see how it all turns out, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. Listen, yeah. Okay. Anything else before we get out of here?
I think I'm done. I need
Let's
to
do it. Oh, we got. Oh, Joe's gone. We gotta play our music.
My bottle's empty. I'm done.
My cup has runneth over.
Your cup has runneth over. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me play this music.
I'm relegated to beer.
What beer is that? Like I thought it was an energy drink.
It's Miller Lite, but it's like their anniversary can or something. Yeah, like some special.
Like light or high life?
Light.
What a bitch.
Yeah, look, I ran out of.
No, I like.
All right, Oscar, give me some final thoughts, buddy.
I've actually been drinking like banquet beer. Oh. It's been like I don't know why. Like all of a sudden I like it. I've never drank.
Like you don't do
any
like Three Beavers or something. Like you got that out there. Like
I don't even know.
Like they have a Cannibal Corpse IPA that's tight and a Cannibal Corpse whiskey. You know what I mean?
Is it Three Beavers or Three Weavers?
Same.
Probably Three Weavers, but you know, but because they're like German and shit. Because you know from the Midwest, and like Three Weavers. You know?
I gotta send you guys a picture.
Like Vindel Vipers, you know, like that, like Three Weavers. You know?
I took a picture because I was at the liquor store, and I was in the moonshine section. It was literally a pickle jar, and it was like it was a moonshine pickle flavor thing, but it just looked like a regular ass pickle jar, and I was confused because I was both disgusted and intrigued.
It reminded me did it remind you of that episode of In Living Color?
No, it was full. It wasn't just one floating pickle.
It's nasty.
I'm in though. Like I love pickle. Like
actually, I'll send you guys.
I had pickle lemonade at the LA County Fair, and it was amazing.
Sounds bad.
It was delicious.
Okay, Moses, final thoughts.
I mean, I'm trying to get some content up. So yeah, you know, I shot some stuff today. I still gotta edit it. And we'll see what makes it up, what doesn't. But yeah, there's stuff coming up. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Yeah, whatever.
It's literally a pickle jar.
Yeah, I mean, I want it. Like,
I might go back and get it. Oh, no, there it is. I might go back and get it. Like it's been on my mind. This was a week ago, and it's been on my mind the whole time.
It's like that truck over here that sells snail, like tostadas de caracol. You know, so they're like snail tostada. And
are they good? Like I did. How do I?
That Larry has to do that.
I don't know what button.
Well, technically,
I could do it. I just don't know what button.
Yeah. So they do the tostada de caracol, and then so I had it once, and it was kind of like I don't think they were that fresh, but I kept thinking about them, and I wanted them, so I went back and then tried them, and they were amazing. And it's
so like escargot tostadas.
You would call them escargot, but this is raw. Like they're not. They're like
cooked.
They're like pickled, like lightly. If anything, maybe dropped in boiling water for a little bit, like 5 seconds, and then it's pickled in lime juice. You know.
I would try just to say I've had it,
dude. But they're amazing. I still like. That's one of the things I wanted to eat for my birthday. I still have it, so maybe this weekend I'll do that. But and then they give you while you're waiting for it, they give you a caldo de caguama. and that it's like a little consomme broth that I can Oz knows what it means.
Okay. Hey.
I can't say it in English, otherwise ice will be there. Yeah.
Heck says alcohol infused pickles. Holy shit!
Yeah. See, like yeah.
Like you don't even pour shots; you just eat the pickles.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Just like that episode. Just like that episode of of The Living Color.
No.
But when I was a bartender, like there was you take a shot of Jameson and you chase it with like a shot
the
of pickle juice.
Yeah,
and I could never get into that.
I hate.
I like both things.
Either.
I just couldn't do them at once.
Yeah, they're no good. They're no good. I remember trying it myself, and I'm like, I like pickles. I like Jameson. This is messed up.
I saw it like Navajo culture. Like when you're hungover, you drink just the pickle juice after, and then that's what my friend's dad did. And then I was watching the new season of Dark Winds, which is amazing. And then the dude went on a bender, and then the next day he just had a jar of pickle juice on the reservation. yeah. Like,
crazy.
I remember him doing that.
For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Until then, we're the Fantastic Forum. Have a good night.